Way. Our warrior this week is Todd Beedy. Say good morning.
Good morning.
All right. Before we get to him, if this is your first time, please go to spiritualwarfareunit.com. And if you know someone that's struggling with food or clothes or baby formula or outreach or schools, please go there, click on struggling, and you'll be able to find over 20 different nonprofits that we work with in this community that can help us help you help others. If you need help with mental health or drug rehabilitation or alcohol rehabilitation, please go to UCANmichigan.com, UCANmichigan.com. Click on struggling. You put in your information, and someone will call you within 24 hours to help you out, because we all know family struggles with stuff. Help us, help you, help others. All right, Todd, how are we doing this morning?
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, brother.
It is beautiful. All right, so you are from the Swartz Creek American Legion Post 294, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And your massive title is Second Vice Commander. What is that?
So the second vice is responsible for the event planning and activities within the Legion.
Are you Crockett or Tubbs?
Yes.
Ah, nice. I just see you in a pastel, the nice Ferrari, right?
I think I could pull that off.
I think you can pull that off, too. So Todd and I met, and he works, like I said, with the American Legion, and we work with Lapeer American Legion. And these guys are former military, and we're going to get into all of your story, and you got a really cool story, but you do a lot of good for the people, so I just want to thank you for being on the show, all right?
Thanks for having me.
All right, so where did you grow up?
I actually grew up not that far from here, Clio, Michigan. CL10, as a lot of the kids call it nowadays.
CL10.
Yeah,
so you were like a country boy.
I was.
So
in the city, at least.
So when you were good, that's not exactly a city. It's like an outpost. It's weird.
Close enough.
Yeah. So you're in Clio, and what was that like growing up? What was your family life like?
I mean, it's funny to me talking about it. Just it always seemed kind of just typical. A little bit of struggles. Middle class, lower middle class. Mom got married to a new guy when I was 4. We came from Flint, moved up to Clio, brought a ready-made family, a couple of older stepsisters that came into it.
Did you say ready-made family?
You know, that whole blended thing.
Oh,
Dad
okay.
brought 2, Mom brought me plus
It's like 1. the mini Brady's.
Yeah, pretty much. Brady's minus 2. Yeah.
Nice.
No maid, though, unfortunately. No maid.
Right. So what was that like?
It was an adjustment.
I
Because
bet.
before then, my mom lived with my grandpa in Flint.
Yeah.
We were definitely not wealthy in any way, shape, or form. My mom actually has a picture of me sitting in the baby book where my bassinet was drawer number 2 in the dresser in
Nice.
the bedroom. Yeah.
Well, those are called ready-made bassinets. So
Right?
works out.
It fits perfectly. for
Right.
me. I was little tiny wee.
Right.
Well, back in the day, anyway.
So was there anything in your youth, childhood that helped like form your brain to the way you are now? Like 0 to 10, something like that?
So my mom's worked for the state, Human Services. She was a former CPS. So, I mean, it's been bred into me. I don't want to say bred. Since I've been young. You're always supposed to do the right thing. You help people out. My grandma was a dedicated volunteer for Michigan Bell back in the day. My aunt was a UAW worker down in Buick City. She always volunteered for the picnics, for feeding at the soup kitchen,
Yeah.
all the things, all the way back in the day. So it's always been something that's been
So like helping at
around.
social events is just something you just grew up with.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Yep.
that makes sense.
Born and bred into me.
All right. And dad in the picture, not in the picture?
So my father actually was gone before I was born. So he actually, it was awesome. He moved down to Florida, found a woman to meet him, turned to Christianity, got his life right, had his other daughter, my half sister down there, Rachel.
Do you guys communicate or anything?
Yep. Well, he's passed now. He passed last year.
But you communicated before?
Absolutely.
What was
I
that like?
reconnected. Well, it was so I knew of him and I knew the family.
Yeah.
Like his mom is fresh off the boat from England. So I know some of my background.
Did
from
she
there.
have the Mary Poppins accent?
She did not.
Ah,
Nope.
dang.
South London. South London was not Mary Poppins. But I always knew the family. It was never a hidden thing. But I just that whole teenage thing where you don't really care, you didn't want me.
Yeah,
type
yeah.
thing.
No, I get
But I actually reconnected with him in my late 20s. Just made
All
a
right,
choice.
that's cool. So you guys had a
made connection.
relationship.
Yep.
That's cool. All right. So speaking of your teens, what was you still living in Clio?
CL10. Yep.
All right. What was that like? Were you like a jock? Were you a nerd? Were you a music
No,
guy?
I was definite the fat boy nerd without the
Without
academic
question.
smarts. Without the academic smarts. I was a band geek. I was a big.
What'd you do in band?
Doofus. Percussion. So
No kidding.
yeah,
you
back
were a
in-
drum guy. That makes sense with your music taste.
Yep.
You love
I
everything.
started out actually in middle school with clarinet and flute, but
Did you really?
What happened with the arm? The accident with the arm. I lost the.
Well,
the
what?
movements.
When was that?
1984, July 4th.
How old were you?
I would have been 11.
All right. What happened to your arm?
Childhood stupidity on an epic level.
Oh, I have to hear this.
So
Epic level.
epic level.
July
Seriously.
4th. Okay.
July 4th. So in Clio, there used to be, out in front of the Clio Park, there used to be there's a cement slab there now, but there was a pool there.
Yep.
Community pool.
Yeah, yeah.
So
the community pool. yeah.
Cost $1 to get in.
Yep.
$1.50, whatever.
You can
back in
stay
the day.
all day, I think.
All day, 12 till 6. So every chance I get, I go up there. Well, I found out on July 4th it's free. And I'm like, oh,
America.
it's free, right? So I hurry back home, change in my swim trunks, grab a towel, got the old Schwinn bicycle with the unicorn handlebars
Oh,
that
yeah.
come down.
Oh, yeah.
So slap the towel on the top of the handlebars,
Nice.
grab hold of that,
Makes
and I'm
sense.
riding.
Yeah.
And I was a common sense lacking child till I was about 26 years old.
Wow, till 26.
Yeah, it took me a while. So I, of course, wasn't always a smart kid, so I knew I wanted to get up there faster. So I don't know if anybody does it anymore, but we used to grab hold of the back of cars, bikes, whatever, tailgate. But tailgating is I'm on a two-wheel, grab a hold of the bumper, hunker down so they can't see you in the mirror, and you're riding along 25, 30, 35, 45 miles an hour, getting where I need to go quick without all that pedaling exercise because, of course, I'm a fat boy back then. So I get up and I'm riding down Smith Street, comes to a light stop. I fly across the road. The light changes and the cars start going the other way. So, and a truck comes by. He's going slow enough. So I'm like, what? I grab the bumper and hunker down. I'm like, sweet.
Yeah.
So he's doing 35, 40 miles an hour in a 25 mile an hour zone.
Nice.
We're at cruise. I'm like, I'm getting back up the pool real quick.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
go. So Clio Road and Vienna Road,
Yeah.
where the Rite Aid's at now, there used to be a car dealership there.
Yeah.
Big, huge 2-story glass windows. Pretty looking thing. You can look inside, see all the cars. They had light ups at night where you're driving
Get
by.
to the point. You're stressing me out on this, man, because I know you get hurt.
He stops. I don't want to stop. I'm like, oh, screw it. But I can't because the traffic's going.
Yeah.
I hang a right. Well, unbeknownst to me, within the last week, they put these cool cement parking bumpers.
Oh, no.
45 miles
And
an
you're
hour.
going, oh,
On a
no.
two-wheel- on a
How old
two-wheel.
are you when this happened?
So I was born in 75. So 1984.
Dude, so you're
So
like,
9. So they.
so what did you land on the, like,
No, I hit it. So these parking bumpers.
at 40 miles an hour on your,
No, not even in the air.
oh my God, you launched.
I flew. Literally, the bike stopped.
Tell me you hit grass, not concrete.
No, I hit the window. I went through the window like this. Like I saw it coming and I freaked out. I went
You
like this,
Supermaned it.
and you can kind of see.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So they okay, so this story.
Dude, can you imagine being the person sitting in the shop? He's turned his kid's like,
So let me
oh my gosh.
it's okay. I got to tell a story because this ties back into
go ahead.
This ties back into my faith. So I hit this window. So they had this cool thing back in the day called earthquake glass.
Yeah.
And I still have a chunk of it at the house. When you hit this window, it explodes outward to not damage the people in the building.
Only the people coming into it.
Yeah, well, you're not supposed to hit the window on the outside.
Yeah.
So it opened up my arm. Arteries, veins, muscles, nerves,
Oh my
all
gosh,
of it,
dude.
just gone.
So what? I mean, they had to. How'd they save your life?
This goes back. I think you and I've talked about it a little bit. This is why my faith in God, unshakable. So circumstances being, I hit this window. I look at my arm. My heart beats. Blood everywhere. I'm out for about 10 seconds. According to what I was told, I ran out screaming into traffic. Schmack! I got hit by a guy in a van.
You got to be kidding me.
Nope. The guy.
This all happened in the same thing?
Yeah. This is all the same environment. So he hits me 15 miles, 20 miles an hour. I bounce off the pavement. This cat in this van is an old veteran from the war.
Yeah.
Medic.
Shut
from
up.
the Korean War.
You got hit by a medic.
I got hit by a medic. So he gets out and he sees what's happening, takes off his belt, tourniquets my arm, grabs me, and is pulling me out of traffic to make sure I don't get hit.
Yeah.
I'm in the middle of the road. So he pulls me around the corner of what was a pottery shop at the time.
Yeah.
And he's working on me on the ground trying to save my life because this is what this cat did.
Yeah.
Inside the shop sitting there is a couple of ladies. These two ladies are friends.
Yeah.
They work as trauma nurses at McLaren.
That's
They thought this guy was the one in the accident. He's covered in my blood.
Oh my gosh.
They see me on the ground. They start working on me. One of them has the sense to call 911. They get in there. They go back to the phone, obviously, before cell phones.
Yeah.
Across
just so
the
the
other,
younger people know, that's when they're attached to walls with cords. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
So in this four corners, so the accident's on the southeast corner, the pottery shop's on the southwest corner.
Yeah.
On the northeast corner happens to be sitting an ambulance. These guys are supposed to be 20 minutes away.
Wow.
Guy had to take a crap. He's over there. Came back out.
A poop saved your life? That's what you're telling me.
Seriously. So these two nurses call. These guys come across and they get me. They package me up. They run me out. So on the way, I'm done. I flatlined.
Yeah.
Yep. They pulled me back. I was gone roughly 30. He said roughly 30, 45 seconds. They had nothing.
Do you have any memory of that?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
Just curious.
Nope. The only memories that I have is waking up in the street, waking up in the shop, my mom over top of me bawling while I got the guys are literally trying to I feel them literally yanking my shoulder out of socket because they're trying to get the tourniquet.
Yeah.
They had to fix my leg from where I busted my leg from when I got hit by the car. And but that's the one memory. And then I woke up once in the ambulance. I guess he said right after I came back, he's like, I came back and I got this, like I hear the wee woos.
Yeah.
But this is just more. I get to the hospital, and just by happenstance, there is some type of symposium with trauma reconstructive doctors.
Shut up, dude.
Nerves, blood vessel guys, bone
So you got the
guys.
best of the best there on happenstance.
Dude. They were able to reconnect my nerves and tendons and move some of the muscles around. I should not have had anything but my finger and thumb.
Yeah.
And I can type, I can play drums. That's why I couldn't play the clarinet anymore because I don't have enough to move it. But
That's extraordinary. So before we go on to the next thing, we already got to go to our first break. If this is your first time to Spiritual Warfare Unit, please like, share, and subscribe. Sit tight. We'll be right back. Taking a quick break from our podcast, I wanted to let you know about our life application program that we have for churches and nonprofits in the area that are trying to find programming that they can use in case the corona shuts you down and you're not able to get in. You go to spiritualwarfareunit.com. You click on our episodes and you can check out our programs for as little as $29.99 a month to make sure that we're still getting the word out to those people that need it. Now, back to the program. All right, welcome back to the Spiritual Warfare Unit. I am here with Todd, who survived going 45 miles an hour into glass, cutting your arteries, then getting hit by a car that happened to be a medic with two trauma nurses, with an ambulance across the street and a nerve convention at the hospital, and all that happened because you wanted to go to the pool faster.
Yes.
Gosh, man, you said you were like 13, something like that?
No, 9. So, I mean, if I do the math, I was born in 75, and it was July 4th, so 9 years old in 84.
So you were 9. And then how did that affect your life? I mean, like, it had to be a little bit.
It was very much. It took me about a year to pull out of a funk because, I mean, I'd always loved music.
Yeah.
And they were telling me I was never going to be able to use my hand fully to play again.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it took me to get some motorization back in my hand to be able to play. I tried picking back up the clarinet, tried picking up the trumpet.
Yeah.
It didn't work out very well. But I was able to go into percussion, drums.
Yeah. So is that what you did in high school?
Yep.
Did you do anything else in high school? I mean, other than school?
Tried out for football and failed. Tried out for the wrestling team. Failed. I did some weightlifting. Nothing competition-wise. I don't have the skill set. I'm not a runner. I've always been a big fat guy who doesn't know how to run.
Yeah.
So other than being on the defensive line, blocking some folks, throwing some people around, working out some aggression.
Right.
Nope. I was that quintessential band geek. I got to do some drum and bugle corps, which is like a high-end marching band.
Yeah. So what about like grades and stuff? C student, B student, A student?
Well. So middle school. So after the middle school into the start of high school, I didn't really care. Truthfully, I was not intellectually challenged. I was told I was one of the gifted kids. I didn't really care. It just didn't mean anything to me, and I was always bored. A lot of the time, I was always bored. And then I don't know. I had a really cool teacher who pulled me aside, Mr. Abbott, in my 9th grade anatomy class, and he played the hard ass, but he also told me that this is the start of growing up.
Yeah.
And how he said it was something clicked, and I don't know why. There was no rhyme or reason. He didn't give me words of wisdom. By Jack Handy. I mean, it was just one of those things. He just finally able to click.
So so you graduated on time?
Oh yeah. And I was never not going to graduate, but I mean, I was like a 1 in my freshman year. I was like a 1.82 student, and then when I was done, I think I got out at a 3.1, 3.2. Nice.
So what'd you do after high school?
I was literally in boot camp in my 18th birthday.
And which
Navy. Yep.
And what was your MOS?
ET. Well, actually, I went in for nuke. I actually signed up for 6, go into nuke because it was my ASVAB scores allowed me to knock it.
What'd you score?
I think it was a 89.
Wow.
So
one of the smart guys. Oh.
So they tell me.
Yeah, right. So you went in nukes and then
got out of basic, started A, started C, and just government cutbacks. Yeah, they threw me in. I actually went in DEP, delayed entry program, as an E3 in boot camp.
Oh,
when I lost my nuke classification, they wound up sticking me as ET, electronics technician, and I didn't get what I wanted.
Yeah,
and I realized right about that time that I was not what the government needed from property. I'm still a firm supporter of the military. I always will be, but it was I would not have made a good soldier, I think. just the mentality. It's who I am. So
so you went in what year?
What
year did you graduate?
93.
All right, so you went from 93 to when? 97?
95.
93, 95.
Yep.
Okay. So you get out and you do what?
Absolutely nothing for the first little bit.
Got
back home. My plans for life were gone, right? My
life
grandpa,
plan just was over.
Grandpa was World War II, Korea.
Yeah.
My dad was some experience before Vietnam, went to Vietnam. These guys went in. That was their definition. I mean, I was hanging out at the Legion on 64 on Carpenter Road for my whole entire time growing up. But I get out and I'm like, okay, what now? What do I do?
Right. Which was what?
Went home and played pool for about a year and a half till I pulled my head out of my butt.
Yeah, and then after you relieved the lower back pain, then what happened?
Right. Had my brother-in-law had an electrical company.
Okay.
Went and became a Sparky for a couple of years.
What's that mean?
Electrician.
Okay.
Went in and Did that for a couple of years. Realized I could kind of like it, but it wasn't. I like being challenged. When we got a job that was one of those trailer park homes, they were putting in a whole brand new trailer park out there in Genesee, and I wound up digging ditches for an entire summer. Like that was my job. Like I wake up in the morning, dig trenches, lay some wire, fill it back in, hook up the service, and go on. Do 2 of those in a day.
Now, you still single at this time, or are you married?
That was just before I met Danita. Yep.
Okay. And then, so what year is this? This is 90, 98?
97.
97. Okay. So in 97, you're digging ditches. You got to be in decent shape by then, right?
Well, so I've always worked on my well-rounded shape.
Yeah.
But I was definitely a lot more upper body strong back in the day.
All right. So what did you do after that? Because that's not like a lifelong.
No.
Ditch digging's not a.
Nope. So from there, I actually I got so found out by happenstance. I've always been interested in gaming, video games. Right. Back in the day, it was on the computer.
Let's see. Back then was what? Mario Kart, and just went from Atari to Mario Kart. And what was it?
Literally the year that I got my arm messed up, I got my first Nintendo Entertainment System.
Ooh.
So Rob the Robot and Super Mario Brothers.
All right.
Oh yeah.
So you're really into that.
Yep, definitely into gaming. So that transitioned into going into gaming when I'm an adult.
So how did you? What does that mean?
Technology wasn't always technology for me until long story short, bought a computer to play a game with my cousin Jeff online.
Yeah.
I needed an upgrade, and I couldn't do it myself. I didn't know back in the day.
Yeah.
So guy took advantage of me. So at that point in time, I wanted to make sure that nobody else in my life would be taken advantage of for lack of knowledge on technology.
I gotcha.
So because of that, at that point in time, when you asked what I'd do next, I was actually I opened up the Home Depot out in Lapeer in '99. During that time transition, I did a few different things. Did some retail, did some odd jobs. I was a maintenance man at McDonald's for a year and a half.
Just trying to find something.
Yep. Yeah. And got into video gaming, which brought me into technology, which brought me into I'm out in Lapeer in '99, opening up the Home Depot, and the guys knew I'm tech. I helped out the tech of the store, even though I wasn't the tech guy. I was the operations manager. And Cat approached me. He heard me talking to one of the other guys about fixing one of the cash registers. He's like, "Hey, you know about computers?" Like, yeah, I know a lot. I mean, this is the last 2 years I've been dedicating my life to it.
Yeah.
So he says, "Hey, I want you to look at something." I said, "I can't. I'm working." He's like, "No, here's my number. Call me."
Yeah.
So call him, and he takes me out to a CNC shop. So there's a little automation alley thing out there in Lapeer where it's Albar. It used to be Albar Paint Shop. There's a couple of different Lapeer metal stamping, all stuff. So takes me out there to look at his network, and he says, "I don't want this to break. What do I have to do?" And it's my first introduction to preventive maintenance. Everything else before that has always been break fix stuff.
So all of this is there because you got into preventive maintenance, and it created a income stream.
Unbeknownst to me. So I'm working retail, and this guy goes, "I don't want this to break." And I'm like, "Okay." So what? He's like, I will pay you to make sure nothing goes wrong." And my jaw goes, "I'm sorry?
Yeah.
You're gonna pay me to do nothing?" He said, "No, I'm gonna pay you to make sure you don't have to do anything."
Right.
And I stopped for a second, and I went, "Okay.
That sounds like a good idea.
Okay, I like this concept. How do I make this work?"
Yeah.
So that was the actual. So I had my DBA, just doing basic work for friends and family as
DBA.
Doing business as, or D&T Computer Consultants.
Okay.
That's actually my IT company, and it was an eye-opening experience back in the day because I figured people just fix computers, right? You take them into a shop and they do their thing.
You go to the computer guy and does computer stuff, and you get your computer back and it works.
Yep.
Yep.
That's what it's supposed to be.
Right.
And this guy said, "I'll pay you money to make sure you have to do nothing."
All right. So what happens then?
Then my world exploded. I got into approaching other businesses, approaching communities, working on a network. Because of that, I actually was able to stop working for Home Depot, and I went to work for a contracting engineering firm down at Milford Proving Grounds. We were working on the suppression systems. Basically, if your airbag doesn't go off if it's a car seat, sitting in the front seat, don't want the airbag going off, or if it's a little kid, you don't want the airbag going up, but if it's a regular human being, you want the airbag going off right when you get in a crash. I got to go spend year and a half working with those cats.
Yeah.
It's one of those things, again, I thought I was smart.
Yeah. And then you met smart people.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, these guys just, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's why they're there, right?
Yeah. But again, it was awe-inspiring, it's humbling, but it also showed me not only do I have work to do to become smarter, but also like what else is out there.
Yeah.
Right? It's one of my first eye-opening experiences that you're not as smart as you think you are.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. Maybe I can be quiet and listen, right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
All right,
sir.
so you're how old now at this point in the story?
So say mid to late 20s at that point in time, right?
Right.
So
And you're
approaching
married for how long at this point?
30. So we got married in 97.
No.
So
this is what, early 2000s?
I would say
2002?
around 2002 to 2004.
All right, is there any kids in that area?
Yep. So Todd II was born on February 21st, 99, and then Isabel was born November 18th, 2001.
Okay.
So, yep.
So you got the family,
Yep.
yeah, house.
Yep.
Where are you living right now?
So that was a transition period. So that went from Burton to Montrose.
Okay. So you're living a life. You got the wife, the kids,
Yep.
the house, the job. Like you got it all together, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if people are looking at it,
Socially from the outside, absolutely.
Yeah,
got it
like
all together. Life's good.
balls are all in the air, and
Yep.
you're
Yes,
getting
sir.
it done. And then what?
Life's kind of funny that way, right?
Yeah.
So I'm doing good in the IT realm. Everything's going good. I'm doing some nonprofit work, giving back to the community like we're supposed to, because that's again,
Because that's what you do.
That's what you do. And then 2008,
And the whole world falls apart.
2008.
Yeah.
In less than 25 days, I lost 95% of my income stream.
Because of the depression
crash.
and everything
Yep.
crashed?
Yep.
Oh,
Well, the first thing to go right, because I was doing all outsourced IT work.
Yeah.
At that point in time, so in '08, we were living in Montrose at that point in time.
Yeah.
And I had originally had a computer shop where people could bring stuff in. I started moving away from retail to small business, small home office stuff. The internet had obviously come to being. People were getting high broadband connections. They were doing a lot of work from home. So for me, I was on gravy train. Like I would go to people's houses, fix their stuff, go to their business, fix their stuff, but I was maintaining everything on the side.
Yeah.
One of the first things people cut when they have to cut expenses is
the maintenance guy.
is outsourced, is IT.
Yeah.
Because IT will just run until it doesn't, and then it becomes a break-fix model.
Yeah.
So I probably at that point in time, I want to say 80-ish% of my income was all preventative maintenance.
Oh, man. So just like overnight?
Yep. Oh, yeah. It wasn't even.
Holy smokes. What was I mean, you had to be freaking a little.
Oh, well, I mean, I lost, I lost almost everything. I damn near almost lost my marriage at that point in time because, I mean, I think we went on assistance for a couple of months. Everything that I had. And of course, nobody's hiring. So it's not like go get a job.
So what did you do, man?
Begged, borrowed, pleaded. I don't ever felt that I needed assistance because I mean, my savings went a lot faster. You know, I talk about having a 6 month, 6 month. I think I had 4.5 months or something tied up at that point in time, just able to make it through. And I'm like, okay, cool. We'll be fine. I said, it'll be 6 months. Well, then when 3 months went by and the world's worse, 4 months went by and my savings account is approaching zero. And then we get to month 6 and like, I'm asking family to help pay some bills. And then by month 9, I'd swallowed my pride, went on assistance, asked for some help paying some bills, and I was doing anything at that point in time. You wanted me to shovel poop out of the stables.
Right. If it's gonna get me $6.
Yep.
Before we finish this, we gotta go to our next break.
All good.
Todd, this is going good. Sit tight, guys. Appreciate it. Spiritual Warfare Unit. Like, share, and subscribe. We'll be right back.
Hey, it's Aaron with UCAN. We're out here at our 3rd annual golf outing here in the Genesee Valley Meadows. So really good day. We have a great number of teams, great sponsorship, great people. hoping for a great time. The weather's good, so we appreciate all the support we get at all of our events. It helps us fight the fight that we fight. So thank you all. Stay the course.
A lot of fun with a good cause. This is a very good cause, and I enjoy doing it. And my sons are with me today, and we're just going to have fun. We know we're not going to win, but we're going to have fun.
Oh, today is an awesome day today. This is our 4th or 5th one here, and can't thank UCAN enough for what they do, especially on this situation where they have this outing, Mark and Debbie and all of them. It's just an amazing outing, and I couldn't think of it brings back memories, but it's a wonderful thing, and we really appreciate it.
All right, welcome back to UCAN Studios. This is the Warriors Way, and our warrior this week is Todd Beedy, and he's from the American Legion in Swartz Creek. And we were just getting the story how your life, like so many people in 2008, the whole world fell apart, and you were sticking and stealing and jiving to get anything you could get.
Whatever I got to do.
So what was the end result of that? Like, did you save it, or did you have to sell, or?
Nope, I didn't want upselling. It's still in business today, but it's nowhere near what it was back in the heyday. So I still own D&T. I still do work on the side. But it's in 2009, through some relationships that I developed, I actually went to work for John Luce and Bill Williams. They own the Flint Auto Auction out of Western Richfield.
Okay.
So a buddy of mine, Brian Compton, his wife, was the director of operations for North America. So
Wow.
I interviewed with Angie and the president of the company, and they needed an operations manager. Well, I mean, obviously, from a logistics standpoint, from a people management standpoint, I've had my own business for years.
Right.
So I got in there and started doing a good job, and they liked me. So I was there for about 1.5 years, 2 years, and then after that, the auto auction had an IT position open up for what's called a systems administrator, which is what I do for D&T, but internal to that company. And by that time, I'd gotten to know the IT director. He always thought I was a little too nosy because that's my personality, who I am. Always and everybody's everywhere, just trying to make sure I got the whole big picture for everything. And JR left the company, and Randy was like, hey, do you want this?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, yeah, I want this. Why would I not want this? You're asking me to work in IT.
And what year is this?
So that is 2011, 12.
So it was 3 years that you were kind of
Yeah.
in and around. All right, so you get this position, and it sounds like a good position, enough to take care of your family and stuff.
The pay was okay. I mean, it was for where we live and what we do and what I was doing.
Yeah.
It was probably about 30% on our market value at the time, but I was working with IT. I got exposure. I got to play with corporate infrastructure that was fully mine. So like what I did for other people and what I still do is I go in and I have some interaction. I have some administrative capabilities, but this literally, here's the keys to the kingdom.
Right.
Don't screw it up. Make sure it stays working.
Right.
And I got to be involved with a little bit of the finance of the business, a little bit of that. It definitely opened my eyes. The one turning point for me was as I moved from one position to another, part of one of my lessons learned from my prior position is the importance of financial reputability and accountability for everything you do, regardless of what you're in, what you're doing. What is my ROI? So I've always understood ROI from a personal aspect, but from a business aspect, especially when you're working for somebody who writes your paycheck out of their bank account. The understanding of financial repercussions and ROI has stuck with me since that transition.
Okay, so how long did you do that job?
I'm actually still doing that job.
Oh, nice.
Yep. So it's been kind of a long path. So Flint Auto Auction was owned by third generation owners. So Bill Williams and John Luce were third generation owners. DESA came to town in 2015, basically said, we're going to either build an auction down the road from you or we're going to buy you. Like, what's your choice?
Yeah.
And I mean, their income was out of their bank account. So it's not like that they have a big corporate structure and all that stuff.
Yeah,
It's their properties, they're that. And had that happen, it would have cut their throat. So they were smart. They did evaluations. They wound up selling. So ADESA bought us in 2016, and I transitioned from their systems administrator to ADESA systems administrator. Got to learn the lay of the land, got to learn the company, did really good. Wound up in 2000, so that was in 16. Apparently I did a good job because in 18 I got brought up to the corporate, to the parent company. So got to work for them. I've done a bunch of different roles, bunch of different titles. I think my last one before Carvana came to town was senior systems delivery engineer, but broad term for most people understanding is I was the liaison between operations, physical operations in the field, and IT.
I got
I
it.
made sure those two people talk the same language.
So when did the leg scenario happen?
So the leg scenario came about in 2000 and part of 18. I got hurt on the job. So I was a volunteer firefighter out at Swartz Creek. So
And this is while also being a part of the American Legion, right?
absolutely. Yep.
All right. When did you join them?
The Legion I joined in 2013.
Okay. So while working, getting your family situated, you also were a firefighter. You were also doing Swartz Creek American Legion. Okay.
While being on the DDA.
All right. So you're doing this job. You're liking what you're doing. They transfer you over. You keep it there. It makes sense. You're the go-between between the computer world and
The
people.
IT guy who speaks English.
Yeah. Yeah. You're like the person that is the two different languages, and you're that.
I'm the
guy.
translator.
Yeah.
Yes,
you
sir.
translate from computer to human.
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's a great place to be, right?
It is.
A lot of people don't know those two things. All right. So 2018 happens.
Yep.
Set it for
I
us.
get hurt, and I think I sprained my ankle because I, as we talked about earlier, I've had plenty of accidents in my life. I got scars all over my body from just various things that my childhood stupidity came back to me in fruition.
It just didn't quit at 9. It continued.
No. I like to say 26, but I think, let's be honest, I think 47.
All right.
Finally.
So
Get hurt. So I get hurt on the fire department. I sprained my ankle, quote unquote. And I'm like, oh, it'll heal. Get in a boot, get whatever, get a cast, get a wrap. It didn't heal properly. So it healed off plane, off neutral. So
why did it? No.
They don't know. They
Were
haven't
you
been able
staying
to
off of it?
Of course, not my smartest moment. So I'm
Moving on.
I'm walking. Yeah, we're just gonna go past that dumbass point of view. So I'm walking down the hospital in June of 2019, or walking down the hospital, walking down the hotel there in Indianapolis. 2019 in June. And
Wait a minute. Indianapolis.
Yeah, so I was traveling for work.
Oh, okay.
So I get down and I hear a stick snap, like you're walking through the trig, and I'm on the floor. What the heck just happened?
Your leg snapped while you were walking.
So I stood back up and I put my foot on the ground and I put my weight on my foot. I black out.
Yeah.
I've had my arm ripped apart.
Yeah.
I've been T-boned at 9 miles an hour, fractured every single rib across the side.
Outstanding.
I have had a 20-pound sledge dropped on my chest from 10 feet up. I've had some serious pain. That pain of me stepping on my foot is to date the worst thing, including having my leg cut off.
You can't just say that a 10-pound sledge was dropped
20.
on your. How did that happen? I want that one next.
So
Let's just stay focused.
okay.
Because that sounds like some shenanigans.
It was again,
Moving on. Okay, so you are in Indianapolis and your leg just snaps.
My foot. So every bone in my foot except for the toes, the tarsals.
So you're walking and your foot snapped.
No, the bones blew apart
They blew apart.
like little grenades. All the bones in your foot. When you step down your foot collapses and expands, comes
So
back.
you're hold on. You're walking and your bones explode?
Yep. From
What
here.
is the medical explanation of that? What were you doing? Walking.
Yeah, literally. So it goes back to healing off neutral, off plane. So your foot, your whole. I've learned so much. Your whole body is phenomenal. And I was a bigger boy back then. I was easily over 3.5, pretty close 3 3/4.
Yeah.
But when you walk, your bones expand and contract. There's all these little gel things between
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
like, And when it didn't, the bones were rubbing on each other. So apparently I hit the perfect modem with the perfect weight, and it just pop.
Wow.
Yeah. Pain. So
Yeah, pain.
long
Are you
story short,
sure?
I spent 6 months being evaluated, looking for doctors.
Yeah.
Wound up in Royal Oak, Dearborn.
Okay.
Michigan orthopedic specialists. I went down to Beaumont. There in Royal Oak.
So you got all the good ones.
I got number 7 out of 30 of the top 30 orthopedic guys here in Michigan.
All right.
So-
And I want to get every last detail of this, but before we do, we got to go to break.
Break.
Got to go to break. If this is your first time Spiritual Warfare Unit, please like, share, and subscribe. Help us help others. Sit tight. We'll be right back.
I'm really impressed with the teachings that Isaac has been bringing to us, as this is all based from Proverbs.
I like it because it's simple, and it doesn't matter who you are. It's very easy to understand and apply to your life.
You know, it points out, you know, my bad parts, and, you know, but it's showing me how to do the good parts. And, you know, I'm trying to apply that and, you know, make a better life for myself because I'm tired of where I've been.
It's impacted a lot of the guys as they continue to talk and ask questions after the meetings, as they speak to one another regarding the meeting and the messages and the topics that are being brought up, which are down-to-earth topics of situations and things that we live with on a day-to-day basis.
He takes the Bible and he breaks it down into simple terms and where you can understand. And like I said before, sometimes a lot of churches, even the Salvation Army, sometimes we start using these big words that people don't understand, like even saying someone got saved. Well, what does that mean? What does it mean when you say someone got saved? And it's accepting Jesus into your heart. So it's like words like that we use that people don't understand.
It's just very interesting how he points out, you know, the different things of, you know, the sin part, and then he comes back with the, you know, how to make it better, and he just points it out. It's there. You know, I didn't know all this stuff was in there, but now that he's pointing it out, it's like, wow, you know, I guess if you really dig into the Bible, you find these things.
This is a daily moral standards that we can live by, that the teachings are coming from. And honestly, we can take verse by verse as what he's done, and pretty much he's done the hard work for us and now laying it out so that we have an easier understanding.
There's some people who don't like to be in Bible classes, but this one seems to get their attention.
Hey, it's Aaron with UCAN. We're down here at the Unity Fest the Heart of Flint is putting on, Kersley Park Pavilion over here on the east side. Doing a lot of great things out here with a lot of great people. There's all types of vendors, people giving away food and water and clothing, just a lot of resources for the community. UCAN's out here, and we're talking to a lot of people already whose loved ones have been afflicted by the disease of addiction. So we're able to get our information out, hopefully be able to provide resources to those folks in the future.
There's freedom in your name, Jesus. There's freedom in your name. You break every
All right, here we are, Unity Fest 2, and I'm here with the promoter, Jeremy. How are we doing today, buddy?
Good, man. How you doing?
Doing great. We're here at the UCAN tent, handing out for United Community Addiction Network, getting everybody here helped out. It looks like a full house. How many people do you think are here?
Oh, a few hundred. We just opened, so I think it's going to get better, though, today.
All right, and how many people you got playing today?
We have 3 artists. We got Shantae Music, and we have Nick Hill, who's out of Saginaw, and then End of Eye. I don't know who they are, but...
All right, welcome back to the Warriors Way. Our warrior this week is Todd Beedy, and he was just getting to another story. And we are going to have you back because we're not going to be able to finish up. So you exploded your bones. I don't even think I've ever heard that before. So you get top doctors in the world. 6 months you're dealing with that. What, you're stuck in
On
home?
crutches. Nope,
Oh,
crutches.
my gosh.
Driving with left foot. You got my right foot sticking this way, my left foot
I
sticking
don't
this
think
way.
I want to know the details of your driving. I got a feeling I don't. All right, so you do the surgery and they say what?
December 11th, cut off my leg. So
So you go to 6 months of doctors, and the result is it's so broken we're going to chop it.
So the what they actually tell me is they say, hey, you can glue it and screw it, and you may have to get it cut off in a couple of years, or you can cut it off now and you'll have your quality of life back. And I literally looked at Zach, Zach Vopper was
Hold
my
on.
guy.
Hold on, back up. Glue it and
Glue it and screw it.
what does that mean?
So they were basically going to put a bunch of pins and screws and glue and create a living prosthetic with my foot.
That
That's a
sounds
thing.
horrible.
That's a thing. Well, so they do that because
A living prosthetic. That means your
Mentally.
foot didn't work at all. You just
you would literally have a solid foot, a solid ankle, and it was one big piece of immovable flesh. And I struggle with that because I literally looked at him and goes, why? Why would somebody do that to themselves?
Yeah.
He's like, people are attached to their body parts. I said, at the cost of your quality of life.
it would be worse to do it.
Well, so it's you can't say worse because it depends on the person. I prefer activity. I'm constantly going. Being able to drive normally, it still weirds people out that I just drive with my
Okay,
prosthetic.
it is weird. It is weird
Yep.
that you do it, and it's good that you can do it. I would rather follow than lead. That's all I'm saying. But because
Fair
your
enough.
foot slipped, I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy. But here's the thing. I because this is the part about you that I want people to kind of get. You're going to lose a limb, and you're like, yeah, that's better off. So we're just going to do it. Like, how long?
Quality
did you,
of life.
How I get all that, but how long did you like comped? Like the pain was so bad, you're just like get rid of it. Like what? That was the pain.
It was the pain, but it was also like, what do I gotta do to be able to be me?
Yeah.
Where does it come into play? Like, so me and Zach at the time when I almost made my decision, Zach's just sitting there and we're going back and forth. I'm like, all right, Doc, switch chairs. Take
Yeah.
my seat. You take your seat.
Yeah.
Said, you're in my position. What'd you do? He didn't even blink. Cut it off. He said, you'll be walking in 6 months. I said, you are full of. There is no way you are
Ambulance
cutting my
poo.
leg off,
OFF off.
and I'm walking in 6 months.
yeah.
You're off your rocker.
Yeah.
With his help, a good prosthetic guy, and the folks at Beaumont, I took my first step on my own with weight on my leg at 93 days. 93.
So because the
days.
doctor said, cut it off. That was it.
That was the final push that I needed. If somebody who does this for a living knows me, knows my attitude, because I had been talking with him for about a month. I chose
Yeah.
him as a doctor, just what direction we were going to go.
Yeah.
But that was kind of the final direction for me because he's been around enough amputees. He's known some folks. He's known some people. I've also
yeah.
done some talking, but I mean, it was that split
Yeah.
second. Like he didn't even hesitate. He said,
Yeah.
"You will be knowing." He literally said, "Knowing you,
Yeah.
you will be better off, and you will be way happier."
All right. So you cut your leg off after your bones exploded, which I'm still wrapping my brain around that one. Okay. So you.
The foot's sitting at U of M in Ann Arbor, by the way.
Yeah, there's certain information that I just don't need to know, man. Thanks. So 2018, how long is you cut the leg off?
2019. So
2019.
December 11th, 2019.
So this is right before COVID. Oh my gosh, dude.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
so you get it all, and like, how long did it take you to get like steady on that thing?
Well, you've seen me walk. I don't
I
think we're
didn't,
100%
I didn't say
there.
perfect. I said steady. I was trying to be. I mean, you're rumbling, bumbling, and stumbling.
I'd say probably so full heal time was probably 6 to 9 months, and then after that, your leg collapses down, your muscles atrophy. So there's a little bit of wobble to it,
Yeah.
until you're getting used to it. Generally, it's apparently I was an overachiever. It's supposed to take 5 to 7 years for your leg to fully atrophy, for you to get down to your final battle weight, so to
Yeah,
speak, with
yeah.
your limb.
Yeah.
I had 2 foot changes within the first 18 months.
Wow. So between 19 and 21, then.
Yep.
Okay, so this COVID thing.
I have a phenomenal doctor. So Dr. Kevin Hartman in Next Tech Orthotics came to my house.
During
Not
COVID.
once, not twice, 24 times across 2020 and 2021 to fit my leg, to fix my leg, to adjust the different prosthetics, the different scenarios that you have to go through. Yep. I would open the door, go out and sit on the front porch, and he'd come up with his mask and gloves, and we'd Lysol the crap out of things, and he was the man.
Yeah, well, you both were. It takes two types of brains to get there. You know that I know that. So it's like you were sitting there with this guy, and I'm trying to comprehend this in a way that makes sense. So you're losing your leg. Then COVID happens, right?
Yep.
So, like, are you still working?
So funny enough, March,
Funny
the first week in March, I had taken my first steps. I was still on crutches, but I had taken my steps.
And this is 2020 March, right? When everything's getting
2020,
ready.
yep. So I'm actually at the auction in Chicago because the previous IT guy hadn't been around for a little bit. I'm there fixing stuff when they're shutting down the state.
I'm sorry, you're doing this. You're doing this in March.
Yeah.
Wow,
state
man.
of Illinois, the second week in March, actually shut the state down. On Thursday, the general manager, my boss called me and said, get home now.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, Chicago or Illinois is shutting down tomorrow.
Wow.
Like they're going to quarantine the state. And I'm like, like I know COVID's bad, but like,
Right. But
come
this
on.
is America.
Right? Exactly. So the general manager comes to me and says, hey, you need to pack up and check out your hotel tonight. He said, there's going to be, we've got a notification from the governor that they're going to shut down the state. Like they shut down everything. On my way home Thursday night, because I drove from Hoffman Estates, which is the west side of Chicago, back here to Michigan. On the way home, I got pulled over twice. They wanted to know what I was doing on the road, where I was going, because I had Michigan plates. I was in my own car.
Yeah.
And who are you? Where are you at? What are you going? I'm like, I'm on my way home. The message is clear. He's like, did you get permission to go home? And I said, no. I said, as far as I know, the order is not enacted until tomorrow.
Yeah.
He's like, go. And the second guy got me right before I got to Indiana. And he's like, what are you doing? Where are you going? I said, I'm going home right there. See the border?
Yeah.
6 miles up the road. I'm on my way home. The guy's like, okay, go.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. This Illinois state trooper, man, they don't play. And
So-
I got home, and the very next day, my world, we shut down all of the auto auctions across the country.
So you're out of work.
Well, so I was one of the people, again, just because who I am and what I'm capable of doing. I was one of the people that was not furloughed, that was not put on hold. Lucky enough, I had a salary position. I did wind up taking a very large pay cut for about 6 months to keep the company solvent, which I'm grateful for, right? I had income coming in. I could actually pay my bills this
It's a
time.
win-win. Given the
So,
scenario of the world shutting down, just perspective.
Yes, sir. And then once the world was kind of opened back up, me and my team and some folks that I work with, we were instrumental in keeping the lights on for all the companies.
Yeah.
But it was a struggle. But I mean, again, it's goes back to that comment I made earlier. What's my ROI? What's my financial repercussions and obligations?
Yeah, but here's the part I don't understand about the story. You get your leg cut off, and you're working
So
in 6 months,
let's-
like you're in another state.
hold on. I got to share something with you. So I'm in the hospital, December 11th. They cut my leg off.
Yeah. You said March, bro.
December 16th. I'm sitting in the hospital bed. I'm recovering.
Yeah.
I pull up my laptop and I'm on my calls and I work.
Shut up, dude.
You're
in the hospital bed,
Working.
minus the shin to the foot bone, and you're working because you had nothing else to do, so I might as well get some work done.
Well, and not only that, I love what I do.
I love that.
I love what I do. And I just told my boss is like, what in
Yeah.
the are you doing?
Yeah, I
What are
would
you
agree with
doing?
your boss.
And I said, you got to let me, because
Let me do something to
I
keep my
have
brain.
to do something. Like I can play video games, great, but the things that I was doing before, the direction of traffic, the management of people, the leading of people, the building relationships, building bridges, like let me keep doing this. I said I can do this from here.
Yeah, it gives you value, purpose.
It helps me.
Yeah, it gives you.
In
purpose.
addition to that, it helps me.
Yeah.
So
you're in your hospital bed.
yeah, working. I'm on a.
I got this mental picture. Okay, you know how you got the bed thing? Come on, you put
Yep.
your foot on and the nasty Jello. It's $50 a day for food and it's gross, right? And you're sitting there with your computer, with your nub kicked up, and you're just. This is my mental picture. And 1 minute, Doc. I just got to finish up this email.
So I did get yelled at.
I bet you did.
I'm on a Zoom call, and we're laughing because my team is actually pretty close to a family for me.
Yeah.
And at the time we're talking, we're joking, and they had gotten past the whole because I had to start wearing clothes. Like they told me that the rule is if I'm going to be at a meeting, I can't be in my hospital gown.
Nice.
Because I did it as a joke. I had a shirt on underneath of it, but I put the hospital gown on, and I'm hi guys, how you doing? So
No, you're just as dedicated as I am.
right.
That would be pretty mean.
The doc comes in and goes, dude, you can't be recording us. I'm not recording you. I'm on a Zoom. He's like, well, you can't be showing us. I said, well, then don't get in the picture.
Right. Yeah. You're just going to have to wait. Just take 5 minutes.
Don't you have our patients to go take their blood pressure up?
You could be like the cable company. You can come in between 1 and 4 p.m.
Yes.
That's amazing. Yeah. So you got, dude, you recovered from that so fast. That's just mental acuity to the situation, right?
Choices.
So you're doing this, and then you're still doing the. So you do the Swartz Creek American Legion.
Yep.
Post 294, right?
Yes, sir.
And what is that? So while you're doing all of this, you're still doing that, which is what? Like, what kind of things do you?
So
guys do?
at that point in time, I was actually the finance officer. So I was responsible for basically making sure the money comes in and out. One of the things I got to do is I got to correct the organization. They treated it like it's a lot of old guys up there. They are familiar with running a home checkbook. They're not familiar with running a business.
Yeah.
Business is money in, money out. You're not talking this month's goals, next month's goals. You're talking 12 months down the road, 18 months down the road. Where are we at? Where are we going? What are we happening?
Yeah.
So for me, being the finance guy, I got to talk to him and basically say, hey, no, you need to change your mindset. It's not about what's in the bank account now.
Yeah.
What are we doing in the next 6 months? Who can we help? What can we do?
Yeah.
Where do we give back to not only the community, but also making our lives better as a veteran organization serving veterans?
Yeah.
What can we do for our family, our people, and the greater area? So not even just Swartz Creek. Like, we got kids that from Flushing, from Clio, from Vassar, from Davison, and our post is not, obviously it's our home. It's our home away from home.
Mm-hmm.
But what do we do? Where do we go? What can we do for others?
So what do you do? Like, what things are you talking about?
So one of the awesome things we do is a couple. So obviously scholarships. That's always a big thing.
Scholarships for school?
Yep.
Okay.
For higher education. Also for trades, we don't restrict it. We don't say you have to go to college. If you're a trades kid, you want to go and be a pipe fitter, a plumber, an electrician.
Yeah.
We'll help with that.
Okay.
But one of the best things we do, and I believe in this, is we do 3 different things. So we do what's called student trooper. So kids that are interested in law enforcement, the state police actually puts on a trooper class for kids. We'll send kids to there. We'll pay for the whole deal.
Wow.
We do girl state and boy state. So this is kids that are interested in politics.
Oh, wow.
We send them down to Lansing to work with the actual legislators.
So where do people go if they want this kind of stuff?
Come and see me at the post, swartzcreeklegion.com.
SwartzCreekLegion.com is a website, and they can sign up or.
Yep. Well, so they're gonna come down and talk to us. We'll show them how to do it.
Okay.
There's different forms and different documents and stuff we need, but if you want to get involved in that, the last thing that I just want to bring up too is we do oratorical. So we we teach kids via a contest how to talk, how to speak, how to talk in public. Right? We were just talking about jokes about that earlier, but always being connected to your electronics, text-based worlds, social media-based worlds. The ability to communicate with another individual still reigns supreme in the verbal realm.
Yeah, I don't think for long, but I think soon it's all going to be error corrected, and you can put it on there, and it'll automatically take care of everything and make it get
pull out the AI, let it go to town.
Dude, that Chat GPT is no joke, man. I mean, that stuff gets some stuff done, right?
I got into Bard, the Google Bard program. I got into that 3 weeks ago. I've been using that for some of my coding stuff.
Yeah, right. Why not? I mean, it's there, and it can make it simpler.
If it works, it works. It makes me better, gives me more of my time back in the world. Hoorah.
And why not? Yeah, and use it, right?
Yes, sir.
Todd, I really want the sledgehammer story, but we don't have time for it. There was a couple other ones that just, it sounds like shenanigans and or tomfoolery, and I want both. But we are officially out of time. Thank you for coming in to UCAN Studios. If this is your first time hanging out with Spiritual Warfare Unit, please like, share, and subscribe. Help us help others. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you next time. Do you have a nonprofit in your area that's doing a lot of work that people should know about? Feel free to contact Spiritual Warfare Unit at 810-715-9319, and we would love to have them on to see what good they're doing in the community and find out their story. Thank you so much.
Came down when your love shone through. Now my life will never be should let me stay this way.